Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another whispered English translation of the Quran. And in this video I will be reading the English translation of Surah Al-anfal. So let's just get started. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. They ask you about booty, spoils of war. Tell them the booty belongs to Allah and His Rasul. So fear Allah, end your disputes, and correct the relations among yourselves. Obey Allah and His Rasul if you are true believers. The true believers are those whose hearts tremble with fear when the name of Allah is mentioned, and whose faith grows stronger as they listen to His revelations, and they put their trust in their Rabb. They are those who establish Salah and spend in charity out of the sustenance which we have given them. Those are the ones who are the true believers. They will have exalted ranks with their Rabb, forgiveness for their sins, and honourable sustenance. Your Rabb ordered you to leave your home to fight for justice, but some of the believers were reluctant. They argued with you about the truth after it had been made clear, as if they were being driven to death with their eyes wide open. Remember, Allah promised you victory over one of the two enemy parties, and you wished for the one which was unarmed. But Allah intended to prove the truth to be true according to His words, and to cut off the roots of the unbelievers, so that truth should come out as truth, and falsehood should be proved as false, even though the criminals wished otherwise. When you prayed to your Rabb for help, He answered, I will assist you with 1,000 angels, one after another. By this good news, Allah sought to comfort your heart, for victory comes only from Allah. Surely Allah is mighty, wise. Remember, before the battle of Badr, when He caused drowsiness to overcome you as an assurance from Himself, and sent down water from the sky to cleanse you and to remove from you the uncleanliness caused by Shaitan, to strengthen your hearts and to steady your footsteps. Then your Rabb revealed His will to the angels. I am with you. Give courage to the believers. I will cast panic into their hearts of the unbelievers. Therefore, smite their necks and beat every joint of their bodies. This is because they defied Allah and His Rasul. Whoever defies Allah and His Rasul should know that Allah is strict in retribution. This is your punishment, so taste it, and there will also be the torture of hellfire for the unbelievers. O believers, when you encounter the unbelievers in a battle, never turn your backs to them, and whoever turns his back to them on such an occasion, unless it be a strategy of war or to join another troop, shall incur the wrath of Allah, and his abode shall be hell, and how awful shall be that dwelling. In fact, it was not you who killed them, but it was Allah who killed them. It was not you who threw the handful of sand, but it was Allah who threw it, so that He might pass the believers successfully through this excellent trial. Surely Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. This is it, and Allah will surely frustrate the evil plots of the unbelievers. O unbelievers, you wanted a decision. Lo, a decision in shape of the believers' victory has come to you. Now, if you desist, it will be better for you, and if you repeat your act of war against the believers, so shall we repeat the act of providing them assistance, and your forces, however large in number they may be, shall avail you nothing, for verily Allah is with the believers. O believers, obey Allah and His Rasul, and do not turn your back to Him while you are hearing. Do not be like those who say, we hear, but give no heed to what they hear. For the worst creatures in the sight of Allah are the deaf and dumb, those devoid of reason. Had Allah perceived any virtue in them, He would have indeed endowed them with hearing. Had He made them those without virtue hear, they would have turned away and refused to listen. O believers, respond to the call of Allah and His Rasul when He calls you to that which gives you life, and know that Allah stands between man and his heart, and that it is He in whose presence you shall all be assembled. Fear the affliction, fitna, which will affect not only the wrongdoers among you, but may affect good people as well, and know that Allah is strict in retribution. Call to mind how He gave you shelter when you were few in number and were oppressed in the land, fearing that the enemy would kidnap you. But He provided you a safe asylum, made you strong with His help, and gave you pure things for sustenance, so that you may give thanks. O believers, do not betray the trust of Allah and His Rasul, nor violate your trusts knowingly. You should know that your wealth and your children are in fact a test for you, and that Allah is He with whom is a mighty reward. O believers, if you fear Allah, He will grant you a criterion to judge between the right and wrong, do away with your sins and forgive you. Allah is the Lord of mighty grace. Remember how the unbelievers plotted against you. They sought to take you captive, to kill you, or to exile you. They planned, and Allah also planned. Allah is the best planner of all. Whenever our revelations are recited to them, they say, well, we have heard this. If we wanted, we could fabricate the like. These are nothing but the tales of the ancients. Also remember how they said, O Allah, if this is indeed the truth from you, then rain down stones on us from the sky, or inflict some dreadful scourge to punish us. But Allah would not punish them while you are present in their midst, nor does Allah punish people while they are asking His forgiveness. But now there is no reason why Allah should not punish them when they are blocking others from the Al-Masjid Al-Haram, in which Kaaba is located, whereas they are not its lawful guardians. In fact, its only guardians are those who fear Allah, even though most of them do not understand. Their prayer at the house of Allah is nothing but whistling and clapping of hands, whose only answer can be, "Taste the punishment because of your denying the truth." Surely the unbelievers spend their wealth to block the way of Allah, and so will they spend it. But in the end it will become the cause of their regrets, and they will be defeated in the hereafter. The unbelievers will be gathered together and driven to hell, in order that Allah may separate the filthy from the pure. He will heap the filthy one upon other altogether, and then cast them into hell. Such are the ones who will be the losers. O Prophet, tell the unbelievers that if they desist from unbelief, their past shall be forgiven. But if they persist in sin, let them reflect upon the faith of their forefathers. O believers, fight them until there is no more oppression, and until the whole deen is for Allah alone. But if they cease oppression, then surely Allah is all-seeing of what they do. If they give no heed, then you should know that Allah is your protector. He is the best to protect and the best to help. Know that whatever war booty, spoils of war, you may gain, 1/5 is for Allah, His Rasul, close relatives of the Rasul, orphans, the needy, and the wayfarer. If you do believe in Allah and in what we reveal to our servant on the day of distinction between right and wrong, the day when the two armies met in combat at the Battle of Badr, Allah has power over everything. Remember when you were on the nearer side of the valley and they were on the farther side, and the caravan was on lower ground than both of you. If you had made a mutual appointment to meet, you would have certainly failed, but Allah sought to accomplish what He has ordained, that those who were destined to perish might die by clear proof, and those who were destined to live might survive by clear proof. Surely Allah is He who hears all and knows all. Also remember that Allah made them appear in your dream, few in number. If He had shown them to you as many in number, you would surely have been discouraged, and you would have disputed in your decision. But Allah saved you. Surely He knows the very secrets of the hearts. Remember when you met them in the encounter, He showed them to you few in number in your eyes, and He made you appear few in number in their eyes, so that Allah might accomplish what He has ordained. For ultimately all affairs return to Allah for decision. O believers, when you encounter an enemy in combat, be firm and frequently remember Allah, so that you may be successful. Obey Allah and His Rasul, and do not dispute with one another, lest you lose courage and weaken your strength. Show patience. Surely Allah is on the side of the patient. Do not be like those who started from their homes insolently in order to be seen by everybody, and to bar others from the way of Allah. Allah encompasses all their actions. Remember when Shaitan made their actions seem attractive to them, and said, "No one from mankind can his heels, saying, I am done with you, for I can see what you cannot. I fear Allah, for Allah is severe in punishment. At that time, the hypocrites and all those who had disease in their hearts said, their religion has deceived them. But you should know that anyone who puts his trust in Allah, Allah is indeed mighty, wise. If you could only see the angels when they were taking away the souls of the unbelievers, they were smiting their faces and their backs, saying, taste the torment of the blazing fire. This is the punishment for what your hands have sent forth, for Allah is never unjust to his servants. Their behavior is similar to that of those people of Fir'aun and to those that have gone before them. They also rejected the revelations of Allah, and Allah seized them for their sins. Surely Allah is mighty and severe in punishment. That is because Allah will never change the blessings which He has bestowed on a people until they themselves change what is in their souls. Verily, Allah hears all and knows all. Their behavior is similar to that of those people of Fir'aun and those who have gone before them. They rejected the revelations of their Rabb, so we destroyed them for their sins, and we drowned the people of Fir'aun. They were all wrongdoers. Surely the worst of the creatures in the sight of Allah are those who reject the truth and do not become believers, those who make treaties with you and time after time violate their treaties and have no fear of Allah. If you encounter them in combat, make them a fear, some example for others who would follow them, so that they all may learn a lesson. If you fear treachery from any of your allies, you may fairly retaliate by breaking off the treaty with them, though properly notifying them to that effect, to be on equal terms, for Allah does not love the treacherous. Let not the unbelievers think that they have won the game. Surely they can never frustrate Allah. Muster against them all the military strength and cavalry that you can afford, so that you may strike terror into the hearts of your enemy and the enemy of Allah, and others besides them who are unknown to you but known to Allah. Remember that whatever you spend in the cause of Allah shall be paid back to you in full, and you shall not be treated unjustly. If the enemy is inclined towards peace, do make peace with them and put your trust in Allah. He is the one who hears all, knows all. Should they intend to deceive you, verily Allah is all sufficient for you. He is the one who has strengthened you with His help and with the believers, uniting their hearts. If you had spent all that is in the earth, you could not have so united their hearts. But Allah has united them. He is mighty, wise. O Prophet, Allah is all sufficient for you and for the believers who follow you. O Prophet, rouse the believers to prepare for combat. If there are 20 steadfast men among you, they shall defeat 200. If there are 100, they shall defeat 1,000 of the unbelievers, for they are people who lack understanding. Now Allah has lightened your burden, because He knows that there is still weakness in you. So, if there are 100 steadfast men among you, they shall defeat 200, and if there be 1,000, they will defeat 2,000 with the leave of Allah. For Allah is with those who are steadfast. It is not fit for a prophet that he should take prisoners of war until he has thoroughly subdued the land. To you, O followers of Muhammad, desire the temporal goods of this world, while Allah desires for you the hereafter. Allah is mighty, wise. Had there not been a previous sanction from Allah to take booty and ransom, you should have been sternly punished for what you have taken. But now enjoy the booty which you have taken, for it is lawful and pure. But in the future, fear Allah. Allah is forgiving, merciful. O Prophet, tell the captives in your custody, if Allah finds goodness in your hearts, He will give you even better than what has been taken from you, as well as forgive you. Allah is forgiving, merciful. But if they have treacherous designs against you, O Prophet, they have already shown treason against Allah. That is why He made them your captives. Allah is knowledgeable, wise. Those who believed, migrated and made jihad with their wealth and their persons in the cause of Allah, as well as those who gave them asylum and help, are indeed the protecting friends of one another. As to those who believed but did not immigrate, you are under no obligation to protect them until they immigrate. Yet it is your obligation to help them in the matters of your faith. If they ask for your help, except against people with whom you have a treaty, Allah is observant of all your actions. The unbelievers are protectors of one another. If you fail to do likewise, there will be disorder in the land and great corruption. Those who believed, embraced Islam, migrated and made jihad, exerted them utmost struggle in the cause of Allah, and those who gave them asylum and help, they are the true believers. They shall have forgiveness and honourable provisions. Those who believed afterwards, migrated, and joined you in jihad, they too are your brothers. But blood relatives in the book of Allah have greater rights on one another. Indeed, Allah knows everything. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. I hope you guys enjoyed that English translation of Surah Al-Anfal, and inshallah in the next video I will be reading Surah At-Tawbah. And if you've missed any other English